Now we have an investigative journalist. This is Sarah Fields. I'm sure Sarah wants to ask you a question. So Sarah, please, what question do you have for Lindsay?
I don't have a whole lot of questions. I mean, these text messages are incredibly concerning, and it doesn't really feel like something that should be joked around about. But, I mean, were you granted a restraining order?
No.
You were not granted a restraining order because, okay. So, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to call you a liar because I don't think that that would be appropriate. But what I will say is that if anybody ever accuses someone of something so horrific and it's not actually true, that would be the most disgusting thing, because this man's career has potentially been completely destroyed. His future has been completely stained. And that is very bothersome to me as someone who is a DV victim myself, a DV survivor, as well as my daughter is also a survivor of a horrific thing that we came out of. And I was myself accused of something that I absolutely did not do, and that was horrific in itself. It caused trauma and it caused PTSD, not just to me, but to my entire family. And now a lot of that is out in the open, and it's brought that trauma back all over again of what I went through in my marriage with my abusive ex-husband, who now, years later, we've been finally exonerated, and it's been proven that everything we did say was true, because now he sits in a prison cell for 15 years in actually not far from here, believe it or not, and it should be longer than that. But I think that anyone who accuses someone of doing something like this and is not telling the truth because they're putting money over life, they value money over the life of someone else, belongs in a jail cell right next to my ex-husband.
Do you agree that fake sexual assault accusers should go to prison, Lindsay?
I absolutely do, and I think there's a big reason that has never happened to me in 2.5 years, because of all of the different evidence that has been laid out there.
Bruh. Yeah, so this is a chick who was accusing Trevor Bauer, who was our star pitcher for the Dodgers. He was getting ready to sign a contract for, I believe, $260 million. $260 million before she came along and accused him of sexual assault. So obviously he lost that contract, and now he's playing in Japan. Right? And so the funny thing was, the evidence of this totally came out against, basically, it just destroys her entire argument that this guy, sexually abused her and, took advantage of her and all this other stuff. And I'm going to play his text messages for you, so you're going to see them for yourself, and you could be the judge, right? However, I mean, it's funny because you look at her here as somebody who's a supposed recent sexual assault survivor, and she's all smiles, man. This chick looks like she's all dressed up, has her hair perfectly done. She looks like she's about to go out there and sell some real estate, right? She doesn't look like somebody who's traumatized. She looks like she wants to go out there and sell some houses or something. I mean, this is insane. But let's go to Trevor's text messages here, shall we? I will say one thing about the whole restraining order. The funny thing is, she asked for a restraining order, which is pretty commonplace in these type situations. They give the survivor, and I laugh when I say that, the survivor a restraining order. And the funny thing about courts is they will give a restraining order to a ham sandwich, right? They'll give a restraining order to anybody who asks for it, as long as you pay the little fee. Doesn't matter. They'll give it to you. She was denied a restraining order, which already speaks volumes about her alleged accusation against Trevor. But let's read his. Let's go listen to his text messages, shall we? Let's go hear it from Trevor himself. Here we go.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsay Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. "What should I steal?" she asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? "I'm going to his house Wednesday," she said. "I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll." Then, after the first time we met, Net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. But then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsay replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But, as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent.
Good.
In August of 2021, Lindsay Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning
Dude.
after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th, and why the video was originally concealed from us. After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold-Saltman found that Lindsay Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place. Now, some of you might not know about restraining order hearings. I know I didn't, but I've since learned that it's extremely rare for a request for a restraining order to be denied because
Right.
the standard of proof that you need to obtain one is extremely low.
Yep.
So you can make of that what you will.
Anyone
The
can
fact
get
is,
one.
I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsay Hill, or anyone else for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to countersue me. Quite frankly, regardless of the outcome in court, I've paid significantly more in legal fees than Lindsay Hill could ever pay me in her entire life. And I knew that would be the case going in. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsay Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021. So, as of today, both lawsuits have been settled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Dodgers suspended him without any real evidence. Okay? This needs to stop. All right, we need to stop just crucifying people in public based on an allegation, which almost always these days turns out to be a lie, turns out to be a hoax. This is why I have to say it in so many of my coaching videos these days. When you guys are watching the mainstream news and they're trying to paint this narrative like, oh, this happened, these people got shot, cops are gunning people down. No. Get the context, right? Or when you hear a story like this, oh, LA Dodgers pitcher, sexually assaults poor innocent young woman who just wanted an autograph. No. Get the context, okay? You have to get the context. I mean, in these days with the internet and social media, it's so easy to get the context, okay, before you jump to any conclusions. Right, the Dodgers suspending him. This guy had a $260 million contract on the table, and now that's wiped away because of this, which turns out to be false. He's having to play in Japan. he should sue the Dodgers for not only the $260 million that they were getting ready to pay him, but they should also sue him for basically slander at this point, or libel, whatever his lawyers need to do, because his name's all over the media now, and it's great he's getting vindication, right? And usually with these things, they when you get accused in public, it's front page headlines, but then when they find out, like, oh, it was all a hoax, it wasn't even true, they print a retraction on page 4 of of the opinion, the opinion section that nobody reads, right? I mean, it's so insane. And so I'm glad he's getting his his due, right? And the thing about Trevor Bauer is that and not only just him and his industry, like in Major League Baseball, but any industry, right? If you have a YouTube channel, your employer generally doesn't like that, right? So he has his own YouTube channel, which he posted this video on. And he had a YouTube channel, for the last few years, even when he was with the Dodgers, and they didn't like him speaking out, right? I believe he got an award. He called it a Mickey Mouse award or something. He just didn't take it seriously. And they don't like that, right? They want to be able to control your voice, much like the establishment, right? I mean, all these major sports organizations, whether it be the NFL, and it's definitely NBA, MLB, corporations, they're all in bed with the matrix, with the establishment. So they want to make sure they control this narrative, like, shut up, don't say anything, right? Because it goes against their agenda. This is why I just will never understand people still, voting left and rhinos and all that. People who basically want to stay in power and, basically keep control over the people. I just will never understand that. However, I'm glad he's gotten vindicated, and this chick is totally ridiculous. Her lawyers are totally ridiculous. These ambulance chasers, these type of lawyers, they will go after anyone, right? If they know there's money involved, especially a big time professional pitcher that's well known, like Trevor Bauer. So I love the fact that he didn't give them 1 red cent. And again, I wish more men would stand up for themselves and not pay out the victim just to make it go away, right? Because that's what they do too. I mean, many times these are just false accusations, and the person being accused is usually somebody famous or popular or well-known, and the lawyers will just try to get them to give them hush money so it will go away. But it never really does go away, because your name is still out there in the media, and people are still walking around thinking that you're some sexual, like you sexually assault women. So I'm glad he didn't pay him 1 red cent, and he stuck to his guns, because the second you give them any money, you're basically admitting that you did something wrong, right? So he didn't give her a dime. Right? He didn't give them anything, and they came back to him twice. Like, you sure? Okay, you don't have to give us $10 million. How about $500,000? And he's like, no, I ain't giving you nothing, son. Right? And I'm glad he was able to get the text messages. What he did was he countered, like, he sued her basically. She doesn't have money. That chick doesn't have money. This chick is like just sleeping around with Major League Baseball players, basically, right? And that's a fact, right? I'm not spraying hyperbole. I think, I've read that. So she was trying to get something out of him, and he didn't pay up. So good for him. But let's see what someone else has to say about this. Okay, here she is on Sarah Gonzalez, which is funny because I think she's just doing this for attention. But anyway, let's watch this real quick.
Yeah, I wish I could speak more into that, but I am prohibited from talking about that part. So I wish I could go more into detail, but I don't believe I would agree with you on the word con at all. So,
okay.
So I'll go into that more.
Yeah, Lindsay, I don't like it when men are falsely accused of doing things, and they have their livelihoods taken from them. and it's done by someone who is, you know, speaking out of both sides of their mouth, saying, well, I wish that this had gone to court, because if it did, boy, let me tell you all the evidence that you could be seeing, but now you can't, and also then settled the case. I don't find that to be credible. I will leave you with this. I want you to learn your lesson on pursuing public figures, and I would ask that you stop sliding into my friend Alex Stein's DMs. Thank you very much, Lindsay.
I really respect you, and that's nice to end that way. I really do respect what you have to say, and I hope there's a day that you can see the real truth of the situation.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, again, this chick, I mean, for somebody who's some domestic violence, you know, sexual assault survivor, I mean, look at her. This chick looks like she works for, you know, Coldwell Banker or something, or Century 21. Are they even still around? Or Zillow or Redfin. I mean, come on, man. This is a chick, you walk into an open house and there she is, like, hello, welcome. You know, give me a break. But, guys, do you buy her story? Let me know in the comments below. Ladies watching, do you buy her story? Let me know in the comments below if you believe her at all. Right, and this is kind of a late video, by the way. I should have done this like a week or so ago, but I was so tied up, I was traveling, but I did want to cover this. It was important to me to cover this, so I'm taking time today to finally cover this in case you haven't heard about it. But drop your comments below. Let me know if you believe her or not, right? And I'll see you in my comments. Drop those comments below, guys. I love to hear them. And till next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Do it for the DeLorean. Smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a ton when you guys actually subscribe to my channel. So please make sure you're subscribed to my channel as well. And for all you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close. Thank you. This car gets so much attention, it's crazy. How to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s. The same exact type of women that I teach my students all over the world to go out there and approach and close. And we're making it happen every single week, guys. I kid you not, every single week, all over the world, no matter what kind of pandemic is going on, no matter what kind of virus is going on, we are making things happen and continuing to live our lives 24/7, 365 days a year, and I want you to join us. And it's the best way to support my work as well. So you're killing two birds with one stone there. And it's real easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. All right, my hightail out of here. Yeah, it's really difficult to shoot in this car, guys. It just gets so much attention, but I've been getting a lot of requests from you guys like, hey, shoot vids while you're driving. And I'm like, okay, A, that's dangerous, but I'm keeping my eyes on the road. I've got the camera kind of like mounted to my windshield right now. But B, the biggest reason is it's really hard to shoot in this car with people like honking and waving and whipping out their cell phone cameras like, oh my gosh, it's DeLorean. Yeah, so until next time.